and Rich Wells, an alum. But I wanted to start by introducing you guys. My name is Shelley Granager. I'm the Director of Alumni Relations here at South Dakota Mines. At the CARA, the Center for Alumni Relations and Advancement. Before I start, I just want to let you know that we are recording today's Zoom, and you will be able to find it on our YouTube channel. It does take us a couple of days to get it uploaded, so give us a little bit. But we will also send a follow-up email that'll have the link to this video. We hope that you share it with your friends or your alumni that would like to see it. And today we're doing the Veterans Resource Center, but I'm always looking for other areas that you want to know about for campus, so feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to put my email in the chat function. And I want to encourage all of you to use the chat function today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, say who's here. Before you press enter, make sure that your replies are going to everyone, not just to the host and panelist, so that everyone can see that you're here today. So I'm including my email to start us off. So if you have any digital department updates or lunch and learns that you'd like to hear about, please feel free to reach out to me. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about some upcoming alumni events. If you would like to host something or see something in your area, again, reach out to me. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone that is here today. I have the pleasure of introducing Derek. Derek Flom is a Veterans Resource Center Director. He started his career with the Air Force in 1994 in the aerospace maintenance field, specializing in propulsion systems. He went on to farm for a few years once he got out of the military, and then he started at South Dakota Mines as the Veterans Resource Center Coordinator, and now he is our director. So I would like to welcome Derek today.
Thank you. It's nice to be here to be able to talk to everybody and talk about the Veterans Resource Center. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, hopefully everybody can see that. So yeah, I'm the director of the Richard.
Derek, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Seeing your notes view right now.
Oh,
top where it says display settings, there's a little drop down menu.
Okay.
Click that and then do swap presenter view and slideshow. Yep.
There we go. Is that better?
No, I guess that didn't change it either.
Let's see. Let me try it again here. Maybe I can pick a different one.
Thank you, Derek. So while he's doing that real quick, it does take it's a little tricky when you're sharing that screen to pick the right one. There we go.
All right. It worked during practice. I don't know. So as I was saying, I'm director of Rich and Trudy Wells Veterans Resource Center. We've got some exciting updates here. So the mission of the Veterans Resource Center is to fulfill our country's promise to care for and honor the men and women who are America's veterans. Some of you may be surprised to notice what's missing out of that mission statement. We don't mention School of Mines. And that's kind of a point of pride for us. We kind of look at ourselves as a premier resource for all veterans in the area. We have veterans from the community coming in to ask about veteran, education benefits. We've had students from the university center come in and talk to me about, different resources or referrals. So I think that's kind of a good thing that we're able to provide not just our veterans here at School of Mines, but all veterans in the community. We have about approximately 150 veterans who attend the School of Mines. And that's kind of all across all the different fields, all the different degrees, a lot of including, online master's programs. So it's a pretty diverse crowd. All the branches are here, I think, except I don't think we have any Coast Guard right now. We do have one Space Force though, so that's kind of an exciting one for us. Some of the services we provide here, tutoring, it's veteran to veteran tutoring, so they understand each other, they talk to each other. resume assistance. A lot of people come in, ask me for, to review their resumes, and I'm happy to give them input and guidance on those. A lot of benefit and referral assistance, VA and military education benefits. There's a lot of them. They can be complicated. It takes a lot of research really to dig in and understand a lot of those. The government, they like their red tape. So hopefully I'm able to help people cut through a lot of that. VA disability and health referral. And, it's not necessarily education, but it's an important part. So we were able to, point them in a lot of different directions. Part of my job, I feel like, is just to get out there and network with all the different veteran groups and organizations. So I'm able to have a lot of those different resources come in and assist our students. We also have Veterans Upward Bound on site. They're not part of the School of Mines, but they're a great resource. They do share an office here in the Veterans Resource Center. So it's just a great resource. They do placement testing, all sorts of different stuff, and it's all free. So that's a great thing for us to have. Some of the things, programming we offer here, veteran-specific orientation in the fall and spring semesters. Obviously, a lot of the veterans are non-traditional students. They're not going to be living in the dorm. So we're able to kind of have a consolidated orientation process, saves a lot of time. It just gives them the information that they're going to need to be successful. Well, there we go. Veteran Affairs Transition Assistant, Patient Advocate comes in. He works for the VA. He comes in once a month, kind of just sits down, and if anybody needs help navigating the VA healthcare system or disability, all that process, he's there to kind of guide them through. So it's another great resource that comes in once a month. A lot of presentations by different organizations in the community, such as the Vet Center, American Legion, Military One Source, just a whole bunch of different resources that are able to come in and just assist the veterans. Again, traveling through those VA systems can be a journey sometimes. So we have a lot of different employers that want to hire veterans. They'll come in just this semester, I should say. We've had 2. Nucor came in, gave a presentation. Los Alamos National Laboratory came in. Yeah, it's a good spot for them to come in and talk to our veterans, tell them about their companies, and hopefully assist them in their career after they graduate. The Vets Club is a pretty integral part of the Veterans Resource Center. We'll talk more about that, I'm sure, but some of the big events they have every year, the Chili Cook-Off, which is coming up just next week on the 8th. So make sure to come enjoy some chili, or if you'd like to enter your own chili, you sure can. It's $15. It's kind of the biggest fundraiser for the Vets Club. Veterans Day is also next week, and we'll be having our Veterans Day salute. That will be on the 10th. We'll start at 10:45 in the morning in front of the Surbeck Center. We'll raise the service flag that we raise kind of to honor our deployed students. Right now we have 2. Nemo Outhouse Race is kind of a fun thing the Vets Club does. Every year we go up there and they let us cook hamburgers and hot dogs, and we share the proceeds with the Shriners for their Children's Hospital Transportation Fund. And finally, the biggest thing I think for our vets is the Student Veterans of America National Convention. It's down in Florida this year at Walt Disney World, so it's kind of a fun trip for the veterans to go. And it's just a great place for them to, they have a lot of different leadership kind of breakout sessions, how to lead the chapter. Yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. It's actually probably one of the biggest career job fairs for veterans. So the last year we had a student get there, and within the first hour of being there, he was offered a internship that paid pretty well. So it's just a great opportunity for our veterans to kind of go showcase School of Mines to, colleges across the country. A lot of great networking. Yeah, it's just a great experience for them. And the Veterans Resource Center right now, it's kind of small. We get a little full at times. So with a generous gift by Rich and Trudy Wells, we are looking to expand the Veterans Resource Center, and we're all very excited about this. This is, I'm not sure if this will be the final way it's going to look, but it's kind of a probably, it'll be close to this, I'm thinking. So right now, if you can, I don't know if you can see my pointer, but right now we just have this area, and we're going to be expanding into a storage area that's just kind of on the other side of the wall, including making a little kitchenette area. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be a great space when it's done to really serve our students. So yeah, so that's basically the Rich and Trudy Wells Veterans Resource Center and what we do. I'd love to answer any questions that you may have. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here.
And Derek, I am going to ask that if you do have any questions, follow-up questions, go ahead and put it in that Q&A, and we'll get to them at the end. And I believe, Derek, you have a couple students here to speak about on the Veterans Resource Center.
I do. I have Cody Marshall and Kevin Chamberlain. I guess I'll let Cody go first. He is a veteran here that has, a senior now, getting close. Yeah, senior now. In the past, he was our veteran student representative in the Senate, and now he is the president of the Student Senate. So Cody, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Thanks, Derek. Hello, everyone. So my name is Cody Marshall. I'm a senior metallurgical engineering student here at South Dakota Mines. Started here back in spring of 19. Going to be graduating this next fall of 23. I'm a sergeant in South Dakota Army National Guard. I've been in for 6 years come February. I just want to walk through what the VRC has done for me and has meant to me. So kind of coming in spring of 19, I started late because of the Guard. I had to go to AIT down at Fort Leonard, Missouri for 12 Charlie, bridge crew member. So kind of coming in and coming into the freshman dorms, everyone kind of already had their cliques. I had already kind of lived alone. I worked in the oil field 2 days after high school graduation. So kind of maturity level there. I just wasn't finding my place within the freshman cohort. Luckily I had toured campus and I'd included kind of my experience as or self-identified as a member of the Guard. So I came and toured the VRC. I was well aware of the resource from the very first day I was on campus. So I started kind of coming down here, and I would say the Veterans Resource Center is one of the main reasons that I'm sitting here today as a senior. It's everyone on here who's an alumni knows it's a hard school. And without that support network, without the friends I made here, without the resources, Derek's office was able to connect me with, I don't know if I would have got through those first few crucial semesters, and kind of getting in the groove of, be able to learn how to learn, kind of at the collegiate level. As far as the student component of the VRC, the Veterans Club, I was heavily involved with them right off the bat as well. And just kind of the camaraderie. You have so many different, I guess, demographics within the Veterans Club, just the different services. You have reserve components, you have the active duty components. You have people that were in for 4 years, you have people that were in for full 20 years coming into the Veterans Resource Center. And that experience and that kind of variety is really what makes the culture down there so much different than the rest of campus, and different in a good way. I think that's really as far as the resource down there. I've spent considerable amount of time studying down there, eating my lunches down there, meeting up with different design groups down there. With this expansion that's coming, I'm very, very excited for what that will be bringing with the Veterans Resource Center. Actually having a kitchenette in the Veterans Resource Center, so you're not having to eat microwave gut bombs or make food at home and reheat it. Having a lot more space to expand, because it can get pretty tight in the Veterans Resource Center, especially kind of around the peak hours of the day. Also, I guess going back to the Veterans Club, I was lucky enough to go to, kind of tagging off of what Derek talked about with Student Veterans of America. I was lucky enough to go spring of 20, just before COVID. And it was an incredible experience kind of for my growth as, I guess, within advocacy for students on this campus. So fall of 19, I'd started as the veteran senator on Student Association Senate, advocating for veterans issues, and kind of being able to learn how to be a better advocate for veterans, and bringing that experience back to campus to really try to make our school even better for the veteran students on campus. I think that's all I got for that.
Thank you very much, Cody. I'd like to introduce Kevin Chamberlain. Kevin, go ahead. I don't have much of an introduction except your name. Go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
Sounds good. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kevin Chamberlain. I'm a computer science senior down here in the Veterans Center. I got out of the Marine Corps in 2018 and moved back to the Hills with my wife, Amanda. My purpose today is just kind of give a little bit more insight into the value the VRC and the Veterans Club holds in regards to the student as well as the community. First, just kind of reiterating what Cody was saying, transitioning from the military into college is a very difficult mindset to make. It's a lot easier when you're surrounded by people with a similar mindset going through the same struggle. Almost everybody here, or there's at least someone here who's taken a class that you're taking. Maybe you're struggling through it. And a lot of the times you can just throw one of those problems up on the board, and there's bound to be somebody who can kind of help you step through the problem, see where your binding points are, and kind of how to push through it. We do a lot of things to kind of ease that struggle. A lot of that is tutoring. We do tutor Marine or veterans here at Mines, as well as quite a few students from BH, a lot in math, but we also tutor our peers in our classes. A lot of times there's people who aren't necessarily veterans in the Veterans Center, just kind of chiming into some of those conversations, or maybe those hip pocket lessons that are dumbed down to Leatherneck's understanding level. But we do a lot more than tutoring as well. We try to go tailgating at the football games. We try to foster a sense of community. We'll go go-kart racing after orientation every once in a while. We do a lot of fundraising. Derek mentioned that we have the chili cook-off here in the fall. And one thing I wanted to kind of mention with that is not all of those funds go towards us, nor just the winners of the chili cook-off. Last year, we donated a significant amount to the Levi Durr Foundation, And this year, we're donating to the service dog operation out in town. And then we'll do smaller things depending on the needs of the community. In times past, we've gone and raked up leaves or scraped paint. And then when the deployment regimen was kind of higher, one part of our mission is also supporting the dependents that are left behind. Not just the veterans or those in active duty, but you leave behind a family when you go on these missions, and we want to make sure that those folks are taken care of as well. But overall, just helping veterans, whether it be through school, through financial hardship, or through these deployments. We really try to foster a community within the veterans community, as well as within the community abroad. We have some tighter bonds with a lot of the Greek community and a lot of the other clubs here on campus. But yeah, and then as far as students, the Student Veterans of America Conference is a huge conference that we like to send students to, whether that be for the giant job fair or the multiple personal development workshops, whether that be learning how to learn, finance, how to transition from active duty to guard or active duty to civilian life. There's a lot of benefit that we get from that conference. And right now, one of our missions is to try to get as many people to go to the conference as we can. But yeah, if there are any questions, feel free to shoot chat. But yeah, the Veterans Resource Center, as well as the Veterans Club, is a great resource, and I don't think half of us would be here without it.
Thank you so very much, Kevin. I would like to introduce Rich Wells. He is a Chem E graduate here from South Dakota Mines who had a passion for this, and I think he's going to talk a little bit more about that. So welcome, Richard.
Thanks, Shelley, and hello to everybody. First off, I want to say special thanks for the service that Derek and Cody and Kevin that you gave to our country. And I see from the chat, several of you on the call are also vets. So thank you very much for that service. Yeah, I do have a passion for this. My wife and I'm here on behalf of both of us. And my wife, unfortunately, can't be here. She's taking care of some family that's having some issues. But it goes back to, I'm I am a history buff. I do a lot of reading on history, and particularly military history. And I've really gotten into understanding what our servicemen and women have done for our country and for people like me. It's said a lot, but we're the land of the free because we're the home of the brave, and the brave is those people who have gone and fought for our freedoms. And I feel like I have a debt to those individuals that I can never, ever repay. But I try. In my professional life, I spent 40 years with the Dow Chemical Company. I retired last year and I retired back to Rapid City. And in my professional life, I worked with our Veterans Network that had the same mission as the VRC does at South Dakota Mines. I helped establish it, get it kicked off, and I served as the management sponsor of that for the entire company. And from that, I got an appreciation for what vets have to go through as they transition from a military life to a professional or civilian life. And to see that people like me can help with that transition, because a vet is a very, very, very good employee, particularly the industry I came from. I love to hire vets because they had the skills, the quality, the leadership, and the maturity that we were looking for. So when it came time for my wife and I to sit down and start the process of paying back to the school that did so much for us, we were given some options of where we wanted to direct that gift. And when the chance to come and help the VRC was presented to us, and we went down to the VRC and looked at it, you know, I wanted our gift to make a real difference in the school and to upgrade the school. And it's one thing to get your name put on a lab or something like that, but to be able to have that gift take the existing facility and turn into something much better. I'll tell you, you go down to the VRC, both everybody's talked about it, but they're being a little bit, they're holding back a bit. It's essentially an old closet somewhere down in the bowels of Surbeck. And when you go down there, been down there many times, it is always packed. It is one of the most utilized spaces on campus, but it is small. The military people, they know how to embrace the suck, as I've been told. And I think they're doing a little bit of that down there. So we want to make the VRC a little bit more of an inviting place, a little bit more of a productive place that can help our veterans be even more successful. And so, well, because they just deserve better. And so that's why our gift is directed in that direction. We're honored to have the Veterans Resource Center named after us. And the third reason why my wife and I are so passionate about veterans is kind of a selfish reason, but we are very fortunate that our oldest son is an active military. He is a graduate of the United States Military Academy in West Point. He's a captain serving our country. It appears that he is going to make the military his career. And I tell you, it's just reinforced what I already knew about the military, but how they develop character, leadership, and discipline. You know, I couldn't be prouder of our son and couldn't be prouder of what he is doing and the sacrifice that he is willing to make. And in some cases is already made in some of the deployments that he's had to do. And so, you know, that kind of taps it off, but this is fantastic. The work that Derek and his team does makes a difference for our school. We have been recognized, or they have been recognized, the school's been recognized as a top 10 place. And if not mistaken, last year it was a top 5 place for veterans, veteran friendly. And that's fantastic because that's going to lead to more vets coming to our school, which is going to upgrade our student body and make us even higher with a higher level of esteem out there in industry. So that's our story. That's why I'm so passionate about this. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Shelley, and hopefully we've got some questions that the group can answer.
Thank you very much, Rich. I appreciate that. I appreciate your sharing your passion and for what you've done. I know our veterans, I talked to a few of them this last week when I stopped down in the Veterans Resource Center, really do appreciate it. When Cody mentions they're excited to have water and a kitchenette, they're excited. They really are excited instead of just using a microwave. I want to encourage you guys, if you haven't, I don't see any questions yet, so go ahead and throw in some questions. One of the questions I thought for sure people would ask is, where's that closet in the Surbeck? So for those of you that are on here that are from 67 to 71 to 87, I see that these graduates are on here. It is where they used to have the bowling alley. So if you think of the back side of the bowling alley, the end of the bowling alley, that's kind of where the Veterans Resource Room is. And then in front of it, they've got some pool tables and things like that, foosball tables. So I too want to join Richard in thanking you all on this Zoom call for your service, for our what you gave to our country and what you give to our community. I am a military brat. That's what brought me out here to the Black Hills. And so I understand the hours that you put in. My dad retired after 26 years at Ellsworth Air Force Base here. And so you pick up and you go quite often, and then you go first. So as we wait for a case, you guys want to throw a few questions on here. I did want to share real quick some upcoming alumni events that we have. So last night we had an event in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Really excited. We had about 25 of our alumni show up for that event. Tonight we have one in Marshallville, Iowa. And then this Saturday we have one on November 5th in Denver. So if you are in those areas and want to know more information, please feel free to reach out to me. Or if you're not in one of those areas and you want to have an alumni event, reach out. I'd love to help get one going for you. Locally, we've got our Surbeck chili feed. I didn't write chili feed on there, but that November 8th is that chili feed for the Veterans Resource Center and the Surbeck. It goes from 10 till 2. Thursday is at Thirsties. We meet every second Thursday of the month at Thirsties in downtown Rapid for lunch starting at 11:30. And then if you don't want to go to lunch, but you'd rather join us as we salute to our veterans here on campus, we have a ceremony, like Derek mentioned, on Thursday the 10th, starting, correct me if I'm wrong, Derek, but at 10. in front of Survec. And then we've got our tailgate coming up on the 12th. So if you're in the area, we'd love for you to join us at the Hard Rocker football game for our tailgate. And then we're going to be on the 19th in Sioux Falls at a East versus West basketball game. We'll have a tailgate right there in the Pentagon. So we want anyone that would like to join us. We'd love to have you there. It's a family-friendly event, so bring everybody. December, we have our alumni welcome reception at Robbinsdale. So this is where all of our graduates for December will be joining our local alumni, and we'll be welcoming them into our association. And then December 9th, we'll have a tailgate at Colorado Mines, where we have our men's and women's basketball games playing against the Colorado Mines. So we're hoping last time that they had this, we had more Mines alumni there than they had Colorado Mines alumni there. So South Dakota Mines alumni there. So I hope to see that again. And then of course, our graduation is on the 17th. So I gave a little time, and I think I don't see any questions out there. So looks like all of you, I did see some thank yous for the support for Richard and Trudy for the center. But I just really appreciate your time here today. I want to say a special thank you to Derek, to Cody, to Kevin, and to Rich for joining us for this digital department update. I want to remind everybody that we are recording it, so you will find it on our Kara YouTube webpage. It does take us a couple days to get it rendered up there, so kind of look on Monday. We should have it up there by then. The Veterans Day salute, thank you, Derek, begins at 10:45 with the raising of the service flag, and that's right in front of our Survec. The main event will begin at 11. So I appreciate that, Derek. Thank you. And then again, feel free to reach out to me anytime. My name is Shelley Granager. I'm the director here at Alumni Relations at Kara, and I am here to help support our alumni community. So in any which way I can do it. And again, I want to thank all of our veterans on this call and on our panel for your service. Thank you all. Have a great week.